Welcome. It is the 19th of September 2014. As earlier on you saw, they've brought back 3 victims from the MH17 flight, but we're going to put that aside to make way for Datuk Razlan, who is our guest this morning. Welcome to the show, Datuk.
Thank you.
All right, Datuk Razlan will be here. He is the Chief Executive Officer of SIC. And earlier on, before we go on air, we had a very interesting chat about cars, about bikes. Yes. We will go in a little bit more, I think, off air. But we are here today to talk about the MotoGP, or the Shell Advanced Malaysian Motorcycle Grand Prix 2014, which will be happening very soon in our tracks, right? Maybe you can tell us a little bit more first about what's happening. What's different from all the other years that we actually have?
Well, first of all, this year will be the 24th edition of the Shell Advanced Malaysian MotoGP. The last 5 years, it has been the most anticipated World Championship event for motorsports to be held in Sepang Circuit.
Right.
Purely because of the appeal and masses appeal for the Malaysian public.
Right.
Okay. Of course, we have more than 10 million bikers in Malaysia.
Of course.
So naturally, people look forward for the Malaysia MotoGP.
Yeah, because our bikers range from the normal, you and me bikers to the rampage.
That's right.
That's right. And then you have the super bikers and you have the classic bikers. You got so many categories of bikers here in Malaysia. But like you said, MotoGP is more celebrated than F1, right? Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're right.
I'm actually right with this in Malaysia. With the Moto Grand Prix taking place pretty soon here in Malaysia, what are your preparations? I mean, the circuit's preparations.
Well, we only start preparing the circuit 2 weeks before the event, probably on the 13th of October. Okay, so for us, we've done it for the last 16, 17 years in Sepang, so it's a natural thing for us. Okay, so we just have to comply to the FIM, make sure that everything is done properly, and we're all set.
This contract runs for a while, right? You have a tenure, right?
MotoGP is until 2017.
2017 before you actually renew it again. How about F1?
F1 next year is our last year.
Last year, but you're hoping to renew again, right?
We are in the midst of negotiations.
Though they are adding more and more tracks, more and more circuits to F1, it's getting more hectic. But I hope that they still renew our Malaysian Grand Prix because our straights, right?
We'll see.
I love our straights and the hairpin turn. Right. Anyways, what are the big names? Who are the big names that we are supposed to see that's coming down to town?
Of course, the household names for MotoGP.
Household names.
For Valentino Rossi, the youngest champion, Marquez, Daniel Pedrosa. Of course, the guys from Moto2, but not forgetting our Malaysian riders will be racing as well.
Yeah, earlier on you were telling me about 3 categories, right? You have the 250, the 600, and also the 1000cc. Maybe what is under promoted would be the 250 and the 600 cc's, where our Malaysian guys are actually there, right? Maybe you can tell us a little bit more first about this, because we have quite a lot of time actually to go into this a little bit detailed. 250 first. Let's start with that. Well, we have how many Malaysian teams are there?
Okay, 250, or better known as Moto3.
Moto3,
For full season riders, we have 2 riders.
Okay.
Zulfami Khairuddin and Hafiq Azmi.
Right.
Zulfami or Fami is in his 5th year.
Okay.
If the fans can remember, in 2012 he had the first pole position history for Malaysia for Sepang Circuit in a World Championship, and he got 2nd in the podium in 2012. So then we have Hafiq Azmi, who is in his rookie year this year. So we have these 2 guys that is participating full season in Moto3. Then we move up to Moto2.
Okay.
We have Hafiz Sharin and Azlan Shah.
Okay.
Still, let's not forget Hafiz Sharin in 2012 as wildcard. He got a podium as well. He came 3rd in 2012, and Azlan Shah is the champion from the Asia Road Racing. So he's been participating for the last 2 years. Unfortunately, we are not ready for MotoGP as yet. Of course, it's a bigger CC, 1000cc, faster and all that, and of course it takes a lot more cost to run it. Of course, none of our Malaysian riders have that experience as yet.
And our Malaysian companies that are sponsoring these teams, right? Are they prominent companies or are they just? Yeah.
Well, right now you've seen across the board that supports Malaysian riders. You have Petronas.
Yeah, definitely. These guys have been there all the while.
You have Air Asia.
Right,
Of course, you have us, Sepang Circuit themselves, ourselves, and then you have surprisingly Aspa. Mutiara Motors Drive, the drink Drive energy drink. They are a title sponsor for MotoGP team Aspa.
Oh.
Okay, so that's a surprise for this year.
Right.
So now, because of what we've built with Malaysian MotoGP, so you have now interest from Malaysian companies to come and participate, not only in the event, but the teams themselves.
Right. Because I heard a lot about companies that are coming in to support our own people, especially companies like what whoever you just mentioned. But I'm just wondering, guys like, NASA and all that, used to have an F1 team, are they looking to support this kind of causes? I mean, have this been done with them?
Well, I mean, if you look at NASA, I mean, they promote certain type of brands like Ducati, for example.
Exactly. Which they bring the bikes
so
in, right?
For them to come in, it's not a specific brand that they can unlike Formula One, they call it NASA, but they can't really promote Ducati on behalf of the rest of the world.
That's right. I totally understand now where this is coming.
So you have to be very specific. Like if you have a like for example Drive, the energy drink.
Yeah, exactly.
So it makes sense they're ready to go global. Okay, so it makes sense for them to go into MotoGP because it's cheaper than Formula One. 10% of the cost,
Really?
Oh, of course,
10% of the cost
just to go into MotoGP as compared to Formula One with a small sticker.
Right. Because I know that Formula One can get a lot more expensive, with the R&D especially. Not to only mention, you can count the Malaysian companies that are actually on Formula One today.
Well, now only one.
Exactly, Petronas.
That's right.
Right. So that's the reason why I asked about companies that are coming in, because sometimes without corporate help, it's a bit difficult to actually springboard yourself up to where we want to go, right?
Well, it is a struggle. Again, we Sepang Circuit ourselves, we stay away from supporting any drivers Malaysian drivers for Formula One because it's simply too expensive.
Right.
Okay, it's much cheaper to go into MotoGP, and at the same time, you can start on the lowest entry, which is the Moto3.
Right.
It's so much cheaper.
Right.
And one of the reasons why we support Malaysian riders since 2009 is to promote our event better.
Right.
Don't forget, Malaysian MotoGP has been in Malaysia since 1991.
Right.
Compared to Formula One that was in 1999. Okay, it's 24 years of MotoGP compared to 16 years of Formula One.
So it's a healthy progression, that's what you're trying to say.
Well, the last 5 years, Malaysian Grand Prix has grown. I mean, we have surpassed F1 spectators. Okay, why, people might say? Okay, because we had it since 1991. To me, the single most successful factor is having a Malaysian riders. Okay. Malaysians are very passionate when it comes to bikes. Like I said just now, 10 million bikers. Okay, once you put a Malaysian boy in a world championship, they'll come. And furthermore, if the boy does well, they
will support him.
So this year alone, we have 6. Okay, on top of the 4. In addition to the 4 full-time riders, we have 2 wildcards in a Moto3.
Right.
Okay, so we have 4 riders in the Moto3 category and 2 in Moto2.
Right. So, looking at the event on the day, it's going to be end of October, right?
24th to 26th.
24th to 26th. During the 3-day event, what will we expect from you?
Well, I mean, of course, besides coming to Sepang to support our Malaysian riders, Malaysian MotoGP are known to be an event of carnivals. Okay, we could be labeled as International Moto Expo. Okay, because that's where major brands, motorcycle brands, launch their new models. Kawasaki, Ducati, Honda, they launched their new models. Okay, we have consistently more than 70 vendors setting up shop in Sepang Circuit. This year we have 83 vendors.
That's a lot.
Okay, it's a lot of people trying to sell and promote their stuff.
Right, which means there is a market for this kind of things.
There is,
it's amazing where more and more vendors coming in instead of a stagnated number, right?
Yeah, I mean, we attract over 3 days 120,000 odd people
Right.
More than 80,000 people on Sunday.
Right. Okay. Since you spoke about the numbers of people, do you kind of roughly know the value that would be churned out during this 3-day event? Like a value of gross profit, not only for SIC.
Well, for us, we make it convenient for people to do business.
Right.
Okay. So we charge a reasonable rental space for us.
Okay.
We don't know exactly how much these vendors make.
Oh, okay.
But from our experience and from what we were informed, on Sunday alone, by 2 p.m., most of the food ran out.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. By midday, Zulfami Khairuddin merchandise sold out.
Right.
Okay, and we heard that they make a healthy profit out of this event.
Out of this, at least this one day.
Right now, we have waiting lists for people to come in for both F&B and vendors.
Wow, this is truly amazing to hear, right?
As compared to F1.
Yeah, F1 is a different thing altogether. It's a different level. But what's new to me actually to find out with this interview is the second annual Southeast Asian Motorcycle Business Forum. This is new to me. I've never heard of this before. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more.
Well, a business forum is something that we introduced last year.
Okay.
See, besides promoting MotoGP as an entertainment sporting event,
right,
we are leveraging on the people that attend to that event. For example, team principals, manufacturers, sponsors.
Okay.
We're leveraging on them when they come to Malaysia to speak, to address current trends, issues. Hence, it became a business forum. So we feel that a World Championship event such as MotoGP should not just be entertainment. It should address the industry.
All right.
Okay. There are a lot of businesses or business players, industry players out there who would like to hear Honda's direction or Ducati's direction,
exactly.
the experience of the team principal, sponsors and all that. So we are leveraging on the circus that comes that weekend, as a business forum.
Will they be showcasing, kind of like new bikes? New bikes to launch the market is one thing, but it's like cars, right? You have the, first show cars. Some, do they have things like that with motorbikes?
I think it's more towards direction of a particular brand, for example.
Okay.
Don't forget, MotoGP right now, we are blessed in the sense that we are the only one in Southeast Asia.
Oh, okay.
It's compared to Formula One, you have Malaysia, then you have Singapore later, then you have
China, you have Japan, so many Bahrain.
So for Southeast Asia, we're the only one. Okay, and everybody looks at Southeast Asia as an emerging market.
Right.
Okay, and for the motorcycle industry, MotoGP is key. For manufacturers like Honda, Yamaha, Ducati, and all that to do well and increase their sales in Southeast Asia. So you race on Sunday, sell on Monday. Philosophy,
Right.
So we invite these guys to come and speak, address current issues, the trend, where they're going, how does the technology in MotoGP transpires into road bikes.
Exactly.
And then we also have equipment suppliers, safety equipment, talk about safety, helmets, all that kind of stuff. But then we have a segment on sponsors as well. So we are inviting Drive, for example, a Malaysian company who's in it for the first time this year. So we're going to ask them, is it working well for them? So that when we invite other companies who have not been involved in MotoGP
case
yet,
study
to learn from it, So we are we try to attract new players into the MotoGP.
I understand, totally get it. All right, let's talk about tickets. Once you spoke about cost, 10% from that one. Apparently they have a video to play. Let's play the video first before we talk about tickets. Right, that's a very short 20-second promo, right?
15.
15, shorter. They want to pay for airtime so much. Smart. Let's talk about tickets. We saw the numbers flash earlier on, but I think it's a bit too fast. Let's talk about tickets first. How much they're going before we go about the contact details and numbers.
It starts at 40 ringgit hill stand and goes all the way to 180.
I remember paying 68 for F1. 68 or 98 actually.
98. Houston.
Houston, yeah. Okay. That was the first ever time, 1999. Right. That was the first F1, and I paid that. But 40 ringgit is kind of like a deal, a bargain, yeah. And you get Houston
for World Championship event. 40 ringgit is very reasonable.
Yeah, and then
for 3 days.
3 days, exact. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, for 3 days.
Okay, that's a lot. Yeah. How about moving forward with the grandstand and bit of a seated, numbered, and all that?
It goes up as high as 180 ringgit. Again, for 100,
that is very affordable.
For 180 ringgit, you have merchandise. Okay, you have if you buy 180 ringgit main grandstand, you have SIC merchandise of caps and a water pouch. Okay, but if you buy a K grandstand, you get Valentino Rossi's cap and flag. Right. Okay, so that's the highest. Right. That's the maximum. Again, that's why it's so appealing to the masses, because we make it affordable. Right. Even still, every time we increase prices, people complain, but we can't please everybody. Yeah. But I think from minimum 40 to 180 ringgit is a good
Actually, it's a good amount to be playing with, frankly. 180 ringgit is something a lot of people go for dinners these days. Yeah, you go for a normal dinner, it's already 120, 130 ringgit. So
and this is 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. So fans, how can they purchase the tickets?
Well, there's two ways. They could go to our website at www.sepangsircuit.com. Then we have permanent temporary booth at KL Central, and so on.
Okay, yeah, the temporary booth. Or you can call the number flashing on the screen right now, 038778 2222, which is the numbers where you can actually find out more information. And also the website is there, sepangsircuit.com. Finally, just before we go, you have anything to tell us to the general public?
Well, for the fans out there, I'm sure they follow MotoGP on telly. This is the time for them to watch it live, and furthermore to support our Malaysian riders.
Right, there you go. Very wise words from wise men. Telly will be only promoting the MotoGP, but how about the Moto2 and Moto3? You can see all that on telly. Very sure about that. All right, Dr. Razali, thank you very much. Sorry, Dr. Razlan. So thank you very much for coming down here to talk to us about the MotoGP. Maybe in the nearest future, you can come to talk to us about the Merdeka. Do they still have the Merdeka race, endurance race? Yes. They still have that, right? And then you have so many other events.
They have all kind of races.
December, I know, is your F1 promoting months, lah. I know, cheap tickets and all that kind of thing. But if there are more interesting events upcoming and it's open to the public, can you come here and share with us?
For sure, we'll do that.
All right, thank you for watching. Gerard will be up next with another guest. Stay tuned.